Oh, hello. Welcome back to another video. Oh, no, it's fine. There's no need for that. No, there's no need. There's no need at all. Okay. Today we're going to talk about Helen Joyce. Now, I know I don't really, isolate singular figures to talk about that much unless I'm blogging about stuff. But something came into my inbox this morning. And I think we're probably all pretty much aware of what is alleged. And I say alleged because I have to. And what it is our friend, turf number one, well, I'd say she's in the top 3, isn't she, in UK turfland, has been caught looking at porn on a telephone, on a train, in public, where there's children around. And what has she been looking at? Well, it turns out it's Harry Potter fan fiction porn. Now, first of all, I want to say, if somebody wants to look at porn in private, not in a train, but in private, and it's not hurting anyone, there's no illegality, crack on. Enjoy yourself. Crack one off for me. Enjoy it. Don't worry about it. But the reason we're focusing on this is because Helen Joyce is somebody that's targeted me personally and linked me to sexual proclivities, sexual perversion, and people around her and very close to her have shared pictures of me in various states of undress. Now, they've done that because they've attempted to shame me. Slut shaming, it's called. At its worst, it's revenge porn. But in Helen's case, it's slut shaming. And she's not a religious person. She's not the moral majority or anything like that. But she has associated trans women particularly with sexual perversion. There's a whole chapter in her book about sissy porn, and she's got a porn obsession, a very unhealthy one, because if you're going to say you look at something for research purposes, okay, fine. Okay, I'll let you have that. But let's have a look at what was actually reported on Twitter. Now, it came from this Twitter account, letters, bunch of numbers. I've tried to contact the person but got nothing, so I've left it. So I'm just going to go through. What I'm not going to do is go through each of these tweets because it does show Helen Joyce looking at porn, which is, when I say porn, it's text and it's all. And what I don't want to do is do a video where I'm going, ha 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 ha, we got you, bitch, ha ha ha. What I want to do is do a video where we go, ha ha ha, we got you, bitch. Now, I don't see. I'm very pinched about it. I'm very careful because I know how that feels as somebody that I have public star. I don't have any public star. I've been on telly a couple of times because I'm a gobby cow. But because I've been in public and I have communicated trans rights, people have attacked me constantly and tore me apart. And I had to come off Twitter for like a month nearly and other periods because people tagged libs of TikTok in my posts where I'm a very body positive person. I post pictures of fetish clubs that I attend, and that's part of my life. That's my lifestyle, part of my going out, my social life. It's not porn. It's a kind of burlesque sometimes. There's no sex acts in the images. But, this is why I'm criticising her. It's not because I've got some moral point to make, because I don't do that. Decent people don't do that. So yeah, it's all here. She's looking at, I think it says something about pumping cock or something. But yeah, I don't know about it. I've never in my life, I've looked at porn, obviously I make porn, but I've never looked at it and read it and for research purposes. I know it exists. I don't need to, if I was researching something, right, and I wanted, I'd be aware of its existence and then not scroll it. I don't know. But anyway, whatever she's doing, she's. So I've gone off track a bit here, haven't I? So yeah, she's the person that posted this was talking to somebody on a train. Apparently, the person was behind them. Somebody was sat in front of her. I don't know how it worked. To be honest, I've not even read the detail. But what I'm going to say is, I'm annoyed at some of the posts that have come from this because we're all it's not that I don't blame those people for having those opinions about Helen Joyce and saying she's a sicko and I won't say the P word, a sexual predator or whatever. I don't think we should be throwing them words around. Don't use words like groomer. Don't use words like, paedophile, because they're triggering. They're fucking awful, and I don't want to read it, to be honest. But I have made a couple of posts about it, and my take is always, I don't want to create more. I don't want to put attention onto something that is not going to yield any positive outcomes. So if the only outcome for you doing this is because you want to glow and call Helen Joyce a pervert, don't. I mean, if you want to do it, I understand why you would do it. I understand. But my point is, it's about moral duplicity. The messages of Sex Matters, the messages of LGBT Alliance and all those, that group of people that all can circulate around Westminster. I've been there. I've met those people. I was in the same room as them last October. I sat in a room with Helen Joyce, and I observed all the people you would consider a leading light in the gender critical movement in the UK were in one room together. That's how small it is. And then they were in Church House together for Claire Fox's Battle of Ideas. They are never further than the square mile of each other in London. So sometimes it might feel as trans people that there's this national effort. And it's a lot of people, and it's like a grassroots movement. It's not. When they actually meet in public, when their little groups do congregate, they don't have numbers. I think the person that gets the most numbers when she does a rally is Kelly J. Keane. I've seen about 30, 40 people maybe. But that is the limit of it. I mean, I've seen like TERFs being outside, giving out leaflets to nobody. And there's nobody there. They're getting wet in the rain because of what some people in Westminster are funneling money into. It's like what they call astroturfing. So what I'm going to say is, I find it vaguely hilarious. I will admit, I was like rolling around, like rocking back and forth, going, oh my God, Helen Joyce. But it's because it's been ingrained into me that these people hate us and they want us exterminated and all this. And when somebody goes over the tripwire and all their moralistic standing and, gosh, what's the word? Like all their preaching and proselytizing and opining and philosophizing is undone in a single moment. It's absolutely beautiful. And that's what's happened. And Helen's gonna say, oh yeah, I didn't mean to do it. It's research. I'm doing it for research purposes. Okay, if you want to use the Pete Townsend excuse. But I'm sorry, Helen, it's not going to wash. And here's why. Because you don't need to research Harry Potter porn to know it exists. You don't. You don't even have to ask somebody. If you go searching on the internet, you could literally think of something. Think of the maddest thing you could think of. I don't know. Big titted women in dinghies going down mountains into water where the crocodiles sing. You could probably find that. No, I'm not. Don't look at my internet history. That's not what I've been searching for. I don't know how I came up with that. But anyway, big titted women aside. What is this? I mean, I love it. I mean, I feel vindicated a little bit because one thing I did say to Helen Joyce when I was in London was, with my whole chest, I said, the men that fuck me in private follow you in public. And what I meant by that was that the men who you shame for their sexual desires will always exist. And your complaints about the sexual proclivities of others and your moralizing, your colonial mindset that drives through the world trying to get rid of things you don't like will always remain under the surface. It only closets people. It doesn't get rid of anything. If there was a situation where it was illegal to be trans, do you think trans people are going to stop, like gay people stopped existing before homosexual was decriminalised in the 60s? And another thing, there was no referendum for that. There was no vote on that. Homosexuality was decriminalised because they knew it was the right thing to do, even though if they had have done a vote, if there had have been a survey, if there had have been a referendum, if there had have been a poll, 90% of the British public might have voted against it because they're wrong. And the arc of history prefers freedom. It prefers liberation. And that is just a fact. I'm sorry, Helen. But anyway, that's a bit of a side note. Oh, what was I going to show you? I was going to show you my post about it. Come on, Frida, where is it? You see, I'm doing this live. I don't edit anything. The reason I don't edit anything is because, one, I can't be arsed, and two, my computer's not powerful enough. So if anybody wants to help me out with any of that in the future. I love this picture because this came from an article that was published about a month or three ago. I can't remember. But forget the article. The image was everything. So what have I said? See, this is what people do to me, right? This is what people have been doing to me. This is one of my fetishistic imageries. It's not dirty. It's not pornography. It's artistic, I think. You know, and that's me in the club where I go. People will actually comment on the place I go, which is really fucking dangerous because I have to protect people where I go out. I have to protect people where I'm going to be if people are doing shit like this. So, yeah, this is what the kind of thing that Helen Joyce will indulge in and follow. And here's and this is another point I wanted to make. You know, all those people invested in sex matters, all those women that said, yeah, we need to protect the children, we need to protect people, we need to protect women's spaces on Mumsnet, they should ask for their fucking money back. Because because I know they don't really care. I know the followers of Sex Matters, I know the followers of Helen Joyce don't really give a shit about protecting vulnerable women, obviously. But if I was one of those women who I thought, oh, this maybe is a cause I can get into, I can give out leaflets, I can draw attention to the fact that there are trans women in women's prisons, you've been conned, love. I'm sorry. Get your money back. So as I was saying before, I went to London. And when I was in London, it was Halloween weekend. So I thought I'd capitalise on that. So I did the debate. It was never. There's another video if you go further back called "The Witch Trial of Frida Wallace." So I detail that debate there. But it wasn't a debate, and I wasn't going to go there and break bread with Helen Joyce or try and meet her in the middle of somewhere. I'm not Debbie Hayton. I'm not Katie John Went. I went there with the expressed idea of performing being a witch on trial. I told Peter Tatchell I was going to do that. Anyway, so this is what they wrote about me. Trans-identified man Frida Wallace secured an invitation to speak at the Institute of Economic Affairs. He arrived inebriated and continued to drink through. So what? I had a glass of wine, you plonker. Anyway, it makes me so angry because that's so misogynistic. So much that trans rights activist Peter Tatchell, who was speaking in the same side as Wallace, tried to stop him. Wallace was dressed in a manner that exposed part of his groin. An audience, when he was seated, I wore tights, and my tights ripped up my leg, and nobody told me. They should have told me, but they didn't. And Helen, Mayor Forstater, took a photo of that and put it on her Twitter feed. So let's not go there. Where are we? He repeatedly insulted the only female on the panel, responded to questions, unrelated obscenities, fucking men with my female penis in fetish clubs. That was the point I was making. They've cut that bit. Later that weekend, he visited a Standing for Women event in Hyde Park and circled the group with please caution tape. Yes, I did. While playing a recording of Sarah Jane Baker, another trans-identified with convictions for kidnapping. Yes. And I said, punch a turf. I better not say this out loud because you know people's going to crop this, yeah? But I played a recording of what Sarah Jane Baker said at Trans Pride London where she said, quote, punch a turf in the fucking face. And I did do that. And the reason I did that is because it's my freedom of expression. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's not an incitement to anything. And I was doing it for Sarah because I sent that recording to her and I'm still in touch with her. So there we go. The more I think about what they do, and what they stand for, it's easy to see how ridiculous it is, you know. And the people that stand up with Helen Joyce throughout all this are fucking losers. So he's standing in a public space with a sign that says "Terse can choke on my girl dick" in public. Like, if you were passing with child and the child said, Mummy, the lady's got a sign that says choke on. What does it mean, Mummy? It means that lady should probably get a check from a DBS check, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, and there's me at the IEA. And then I put this because I thought this was about as nasty as I was going to get. I was probably, you've been looking at porn, Helen. You've been looking at porn. Oh, dear. Let's think about it. Oh, no. Oh, no, the porn. Oh, no. It's terrible. It's terrible. I've got a soundboard. I'm just experimenting with this. This was my sound for Helen Joyce. Poor Helen. Right, so I think I'm just about wrapped up here, because that's all I wanted to say. I don't want anything to happen to Helen Joyce apart from what happens to if this had been a trans woman that had been a Daily Mail headline, pervy trans on train, choo choo. There'd be some ridiculous. You won't believe what happened next. There'd be some salacious garbage. And because Helen is part of that media world and is probably in the WhatsApp messages of Toby Young, another rank misogynist who is funding most of this business. I'll get into that in another video, actually. I want to do a video on Toby Young because I met him. What was I going to say? I just want to say this is how I do videos. I ramble on and I forget what I'm talking about, and I'll talk about something completely useless and then do this. I'm just testing my soundboard. Anyway, listen to this one.
Never have you known such cringing terror, such sudden shocks.
I'm amusing myself because I've not made any videos for ages because I lost my phone and I used my phone for my camera. I left it on in a hire car, believe it or not. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up because I'm just waffling now. But anyway, don't go too hard on the Joycey. You know, she's having a rough day. Just remember that when people point at witches and try to make demons, they're probably saying something about themselves. They aren't the witches, they're the Puritans, and it's me they wanted to burn. But it turns out she got burnt. So, sorry, Helen. Bye, you mad bitch.